This is from MadebyJimbob. He says, premise
Don't say my name like that. Don't say my name like that.
1, Christ assumed human nature. P2, evolution equals there is no universal human nature. Conclusion, Christ can't heal humanity if humanity isn't universal. And I asked him, what does he mean by universal human nature? And he says, made in God's image, mind, body, spirit, made to serve and know God.
Yeah, universal is just referring to the status of human nature. So when he's asking, what do you mean by universal human nature? You can't refer to human as a thing, as a category from a Christian view, or even from an evolutionary view, by the way, unless it's universal. What are you referring to? Well, this is a problem for IP because just 10 minutes ago, for those of you who were here, if you weren't here, I recommend rewinding it at some point. He said that God created beasts. He calls those humans, by the way, IP. Then he says God selected Adam as a unique human beast, and then Adam cross-pollinated with these other humans. Well, no, you can't have them both be human from a Christian perspective. You can't have them both be human. You can't have two human natures, universals. You can't have two universals referring to the same things. Oh, here's a human. What does that mean? Oh, it means beastly and not made in the image of God. What's this? What's this Adam? Oh, he's a human. He's made in the image of God. What? That doesn't make sense.
So first off, I would disagree.
The audio's probably cutting in and out. You got to refresh.
I don't think evolution means you can't have a universal human nature.
You don't. Well, that's not a counter argument. I don't care what you think, Michael. It's not only true that under evolution, you can't have a universal human nature because nature is changing. It's in flux. It's Hinduism. It's always changing. Under evolution, it's always changing. All of it. There's no universality of any species, by the way. But they're always morphing. They're only particulars. It's nominalism. It's because my internet keeps disconnected from OBS for some reason.
First of all, what it means to be made in the image of God, according to a lot of ancient Near Eastern scholars, is that it just means we've been elected. This is what
elected. Excuse me. It means you've been elected. This is totally nonsense theology, bro. So God creates man in his image. Create, the act of creation. But it means elected? I'm sorry. Elected means that whatever God's looking at already exists. Okay? He's already way off, dude. He has to mangle his theology immediately. Did you just hear what he said? We're just elected. It's like weird pseudo-Calvinists. Like, well, we got elected. Adam got elected. Got plucked from the beasts. A goat could be elected. Anything could be elected. A tree could be elected. A rock could be elected. It's wild.
Example, John Walton has pointed out. Michael Heiser has pointed this out. So, I mean, like, this idea that that there's a universe, there needs to be some sort of human nature that's made in God's image, it doesn't necessarily follow.
Excuse me? It doesn't follow that if Christianity is true, there's a universality of human nature? Dude, this is brutal.
So I would reject that premise right there. And again, if you take Swamadas's view, you can have a special creation with Adam, and then
he's not a special creation, dude. He's not a special creation. Adam from your very words, is among the current beasts, and he's elect, in your own words. And God breathes on him. You, Adam, you're the first man. But there's beasts already, so that means there's procreation already. Adam actually came from a beast.
By the time of Christ, everyone on earth is a descendant of Adam,
who had sex with animals. Adam, by your own words, just 10 minutes ago, his kind crossbreeded with animals, beasts who weren't human, who weren't made in God's image. Christ took on an image, the status of a human who came from bestiality. You sicko.
I bet if you dropped both these guys off at a gym, they would just sit around and read the labels on the dumbbells and plates, then come to a logical conclusion that using dumbbells makes you dumber.
This is so wild. I mean, what he's saying is so insane, and I just can't believe, like, his audience doesn't pick up on this. Who are you people? Who are you, 484,000 subs? Who are you? What are you? What are you doing? Well, Adam came along, and Christ took on an image of a bestiality cult.
according as he points out in his book, The Genealogical
Correct.
Adam. So you can. I don't think that would necessarily follow that evolution doesn't equal there's no universal human nature.
You've already admitted it. There isn't, right? Dude, IP, it's really simple. You've already conceded that there's no universality of human nature. Why? Because you referred to the first creatures who are not Adam as human. And then you referred to Adam as human. But you say that there's distinct statuses between the two of them. You've already conceded that there's two conflicting universal things called human, dude. You've already conceded in your stream, bro. He's like, oh no, I already folded, and I said that there's a human that's not made in God's image, and there's a human that is, and they're not identical, but they're called human. So okay, so the universal category called human can involve things that are not made in God's image. Okay.
And
No,
I
I
think
think
the
sort of
conclusion
the opposite. I think the opposite would be true. I mean, evolution, each species has a universal nature. That's sort of how we define species. Although it's not really.
No, under evolution, it doesn't, dude. You're just lying, bro. It's a lie from the old man.
Evolution, each species has a universal nature.
Yeah, temporarily. It doesn't hold, dude. It doesn't hold. Like evolution has to assume in the here now there's a species that it can only be itself until it dies. That's what it posits. But it also holds that species came from not itself. Okay? It came from not itself.
That's sort of how we define species.
No, dude.
It's not really how we define species, but
it's not.
It's true of species. So there are universal natures of species, and certainly
No. Evolution doesn't even have the capacity to say nature. Nature is metaphysical of the thing that the group, that the particulars are in. So evolution is a nominalistic view. All they're doing is looking at particulars and saying, well, for the sake of talking about it, we'll call this thing that can breed with itself or whatever a species, but it's not an actual thing.
So I don't accept premise 2 either. I think
that's
not true.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it works. All right, we'll get to
Oh, yeah, it doesn't seem like it works. You're yourself. I'll fight you. I don't care if you win. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it works. We just say no. We just say no.
to some more super chats here in a bit, so get them in now, folks. I'm going to start by we're going to look at this video from Ken Ham. Sometimes other
We're not doing experiments.
Oh, this is another part. This is another part that is that obviously in my arguments against evolution and science. Listen to Cy cope about historical imagined science. Watch this.
Certainly the human side. I don't accept premise 2 either. I think that's not true.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it worked. All right, we'll get.
Yeah. Just dismiss it. Yep. Dude, hey, Michael Jones, if I debated you on evolution, you would not be able to get away from that argument. You couldn't just say it doesn't seem like it doesn't work. You couldn't do that in a debate.